Merry Christmas Eve, everyone. Today, I'm going to be reversing Home Alone 1 to Home Sweet Home Alone. I did this 2 years ago when I was doing the famous Advent calendar. Well, not really famous, but you know what I mean. Basically, I did it in a different style, and this was actually the last time I did it in this different style, where I just kind of talked about what I thought of the movie itself. And then the next day after that video was uploaded, I did another one, but I'm now doing those same, new format and stuff. So I figured, why not, here we go again, do this again, and see if my opinion has changed. So without further ado, here we go. Now, Home Alone was first released on November 10th, 1990 in Chicago, November 16th, 1990 in the United States. Produced by 20th Century Fox, Hughes Entertainment. This was directed by John Hughes. Yep. And this was distributed by 20th Century Fox. Wow. Now, basically, everyone already knows the Home Alone story, but in case you don't, basically, it's about the McAllister family who wants to spend time Christmas in Paris. Everyone in the family hates Kevin. Really? No, really. And Kevin's also that mad too. The last straw is when he gets mad by Buzz. And so Kevin wishes that his family disappears. And then the next day he wakes up and is home alone. This starts good at first, but then burglars come and all of that. And so he protects them and all that. He protects himself. And eventually things go back to normal. The family finds Kevin back safe home. And things are back to normal. Now, this is one of the most iconic Christmas movies of all time. And Rotten Tomatoes, it's not that bad. It's 66%, which is really good because this is without a doubt one of the best comedy Christmas movies of all time. And I absolutely remember watching this. I never really watched it until 2021, and I had a blast watching it. And it's definitely an experience that I'll never forget. Now, Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. This was produced by 20th Century Fox, Hughes Entertainment, also directed by John Hughes. Okay, well, technically, directed by Chris Columbus, produced by John Hughes. I might have messed that up. I am sorry, but oh well. It was released on November 20th, 1992, distributed by 20th Century Fox. Now, this movie is basically the same plot, but instead, it's a little toned down, a little different, where basically the McAllister family, again, are planning to go to Christmas, but in Miami, and once again, things don't go well after a pageant goes wrong, and so Kevin wishes to go on his own vacation instead of Florida, and he goes to New York, and goes on a different vacation, accidentally goes on a different plane, and things go well at first, but then, once again he realizes, yeah, this is not a good idea. And so he wishes to go back to Miami, but the burglars are back again, and so he must stop them as well. And the family again notices, and eventually they find him safe in New York, and that's how that movie ends. So, this movie wasn't as well as the original, but still a really good movie. On Rotten Tomatoes, it is 35%, which I get it, because this was basically the same as Home Alone, like the original, like basically the plot, but with some changes. But it's still a really phenomenal movie. It's also one of the best Christmas movies I've ever watched as well. It's really good, and I absolutely enjoy it, and everyone enjoys it as well, both movies. But now let's get to the bad side. Yep, Home Sweet Home Alone. Now produced by 20th Century Studios, wrong. Hutch Parker Entertainment. Yeah, it's not John Hughes, unfortunately. Distributed by Disney Plus. And release date November 12th, 2021. It's the exact same movie, but with a different cast. This focuses on a guy named Max, But there's a little bit of a different story where basically Jeff and Pam want to sell the house, haven't told their kids yet, and just when an open house happens, Max, his mother, come to stop by, and there's some dolls and all that. And then basically what happens is that Jeff and Pam think that the guy Max stole the doll. And while that was happening, Max is like a little upset about the holidays and all that, and wishes that he's home alone, and so that's what happens. And then once again, he also gets a little bored, like Kevin, and then Jeff and Pam want to get back the doll, and then on Christmas Eve, after like all the traps, every single movie obviously has traps. Those are like the best parts of the entire movie series. And so when that traps happens, it reveals that Max didn't steal the doll, but actually the soda that was earlier there. And then Max goes to their home. His mom comes back after worrying so much. And that's the end of the movie. But this movie is just so bad. It definitely deserves a 15% on Rotten Tomatoes. Because this movie could have been better, but they just ended up decided to make some changes for like the new season, and it just came off as a big old cash grab, which I don't like at all. After looking through all three, the holiday season package that you need to watch is Home Alone. And the reason is simply because this is one of the most iconic Christmas movies of all time. It has credible humor. The traps are, it's definitely the favorite. It's definitely the most famous, one of the most famous parts of Christmas movies, and just all like the story and that is, it's just so iconic. It's considered, there's a reason why it's considered to be one of the best Christmas movies of all time. It is just so iconic. Not that the other two movies are bad or anything. Home Alone 2 is still really good. You must give that a watch. But Home Sweet Home Alone, never watch it because it's so bad. But definitely watch this first movie. Watch both of them. Watch both first and two. I know it's a little upsetting that not the second movie wins and all that, but obviously I had to make a decision. This is the best one, obviously. So, yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed this battle. Thank you guys so much for watching. Merry Christmas, and have a Happy New Year. Goodbye.